What's cracking like in DC viewers? It's your boy WHX1 here. We're going to react to 10 Secrets WWE Wrestlers Review. And this, of course, by YT Wrestling Facts, aka YouTube Wrestling Facts. Original video will be in the link in the description. With that being said, let go. Don't mind the ad. Nigga, just get off the screen.
Everybody has some sort of dark hidden secrets, right? Well, that's what we're going to be counting down in today's video. We're going to be looking at those 10 dark secrets WWE wrestlers admitted to.
Really?
The third-generation wrestler was instantly put into the big spotlight at such a young age when he debuted in the WWE.
It's broad daylight, I can see.
In 2006, Orton would come close to death when he overdosed and stopped breathing. Luckily, his wife called an ambulance and his life was saved. He would open up about his drug abuse years later in the WWE special, Randy Orton.
Yeah, I remember watching that years ago.
Also confirmed he did indeed overdose during an interview with Arizona's rock station 98 KUPD in 2011, but since then, Orton hasn't had any issues with drug abuse.
Good for you, Randy. Now, I remember watching the documentary a few years ago, and I believe it's around 2013, when I had RCN at the time when you could watch YouTube on TV or whatever. But however, Randy Orton did struggle with drug abuse or whatever. It really goes to show you that sometimes wrestlers do have some dark secrets. I mean, not every wrestler has to stay healthy. That you see them eating junk food, we see them eating cookies and donuts and stuff. But if that's what they choose to do, then why bother? So I mean, you can't expect every wrestler to be perfect. I mean, y'all gotta understand how the wrestling business is, though, of how they treat people behind closed doors. It's no secret about it. I mean, we already know about it since forever. I mean, that's why you have the internet and YouTube and such. So, and I had no idea that Pat Patterson came out, so this should be interesting.
Pat Patterson is a pioneer, legend, and one of the hardest working individuals in the wrestling community. The Canadian native had to live with one secret for a very long time. He would debut in 1958 in the wrestling business, but wouldn't come out as being gay until participating on WWE's reality show Legends House in 2014. Since the positive reception, Patterson has written an autobiography called Accepted, How the First Gay Superstar Changed WWE. At the age of 76, Patterson still has a voice in the WWE today and could really...
So it took him that long to actually come out by appearing in the reality show. So Darren Young also came out. I remember this too.
Another wrestler who came out as openly gay is Darren Young. Darren Young admitted to being gay in 2013 when he was asked by TMZ if a gay wrestler can have success in the WWE. He said, "Absolutely, look at me. I'm a WWE
superstar,
boyfriend
there.
To be honest with you, I'll tell you right now, I'm gay. And I'm happy. I'm very happy." Now, the ironic thing about this moment right here was that the reporter nor anyone else in the WWE or in the WWE universe knew that Darren Young was gay, as he wasn't openly gay prior to this interview.
Speaking of gay, if you guys watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for years, you would have known that David Yost, Billy the Blue Ranger, is actually gay in real life. Now, personally, I did not find this out around 2010. So this was like what? Like 6 years ago. And it shocked the heck out of me because, number one, I've always thought that David Yost was like a straight dude. Like, I never pictured him as gay or whatever though, but it kind of explains his character traits in season 1, like this dorky, nerdy type of character that he was. But it worked because he was everyone's favorite Blue Ranger, in my opinion. But you know what? I did not judge him. I did not make fun of him. I did not hate him. I just thought he kind of sucked as a Blue Ranger. In the beginning, because his character was beginning to be developed, and his fight scenes got a bit better. So, other than that, man, David Yost became my favorite Blue Ranger of all time, and a huge inspiration. Even though I'm not gay, I still respect the man for what he's doing in his life. So you have no choice but to respect the guy. So David Yost and Darren Young and Pat Patterson, you gotta respect those individuals who not only came out, but who still doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta respect, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're coming out or whichever they are. So you can't judge them for it. So that's what I'm saying. That's what it says in the Bible. You can't judge a book by its cover. So
Kurt Angle's falling out with the company is well documented, and we're glad he worked things out with Vince McMahon. The WWE champion and Olympic gold medalist is no stranger to drug and alcohol abuse.
He had a huge issue.
Angle would admit to taking 65 extra strength Vicodin a day during the worst years of his life. He said, quote, "The only thing I could do was eventually go to rehab and try to fix my life again, but I actually beat it on my own. I stayed in my house for 10 days and didn't leave, and I was able to get through the withdrawal."
That's crazy. And The Rock had depression?
The Rock would go through depression as a young adult and even admitted to doing steroids during that time. He said, and I quote, "I tried them when I was 18, me and my football buddies. Nothing happened." In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter in 2014, The Rock talks about suffering from depression on 3 separate occasions. The Rock also goes into detail about being locked out of his home at the age of 14 because his mother couldn't afford the rent.
Dang, that's sad, man. Yeah, man, depression is the worst part of everybody's life because it's really hard to overcome it. But the fact that The Rock suffered depression, I never knew about it until now. And he went through depression as a teenager because his mother didn't have any money or couldn't afford to buy a home. That's sad, man. I mean, I'm proud for Dwayne, for overcoming that as a teenager and as an adult because I know what depression can do to you. Like, there are different side effects that can cause it. Cutting yourself and suicide attempts and thoughts also. So the best thing to deal with depression is either listening to music, drawing, or work out, or do whatever it is that something positive that can help you overcome any condition, or a disorder. So, yeah, man, but WWE, man, they are tripped though because it can be very hard for any other wrestler to overcome so many issues that they dealt with within their life. And the fact that, they're still struggling to it, it's even tough, man. Like, the WWE is a dark company to be around. I'm not saying it as a hatred towards the company, but I'm just saying, like, us wrestling fans know what goes on behind closed doors because we witness it from the internet and the YouTube wrestling channels that actually tell the truth about wrestling companies, and former wrestlers that used to work within the company shoots on everybody that they used to work with of how much they hated that individual and exposing the truth. That's no secret. So,
you're a limousine riding, jet flying, rich son of a. So the last thing you want to do is come out publicly that you owed your boss money. Flair's history of bankruptcy is well documented, and the tale of his life became more public when he admitted to owing Vince McMahon $800,000. On Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast in January of 2016, Flair would talk about owing the large sum. Flair would speak about McMahon, explaining, "When I've had financial problems through my divorces, he's lent me money, but I've paid him back. One time I was into him for $800,000. I wouldn't lend my kid this kind of money. But I got my WrestleMania check from Shawn. I won't tell you what it was, but it was a lot. Biggest paycheck I ever got in my life. I handed it right back to Vince."
That's sad, man.
9 years sober from drugs and alcohol, Goldust's career and life almost came crashing down to a halt if it wasn't for his faith in God and changing his horrible ways.
Amen.
Over the years, Goldust has been very open about almost killing himself because of being hooked on painkillers, cocaine, and alcohol. In his book called Crossroads, Goldust Out of the Darkness, he mentions on several occasions on being high on cocaine before a match and immediately taking Vicodin every morning. In 2013, Goldust explained, "It was day in and day out, probably 2 years solid, and I can go through the list of things. A half-gallon of vodka a day, probably 60 or 70 pills a day, plus other stuff like cocaine. It wasn't good, but I didn't care. I didn't see the other way."
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
The legend
He's
of
the
professional
worst.
wrestling has been in a lot of
Racist controversies, the sex tape, the drugs, you name it.
Racist remarks to a sex tape going viral on the web, Hogan hasn't had it easy. The former WWE champion even hit rock bottom following his divorce, contemplating to end it all. In an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, Hogan talked about what was going through his mind after the divorce. He said, quote, "Everything I've done, my whole career and my whole life, it's like it never happened. It's like I never existed. I was completely broken and destroyed and said, what's the easiest way out of this? I mean, I was lost."
Lex Luger has done it all.
Lex Luger came out with a famous quote about his abuse towards drugs and alcohol. Luger states, "If you snort it, spray it, shoot it, inject it, I did it, buddy. Or I was around it. That was my life.
He's a junkie.
Alcohol, I abused it all, buddy. I took a lot of pills. I was a pill popper." He constantly wonders why he's still alive while so many of his former colleagues are dead due to the drug abuse in the industry. He even took the blame for Miss Elizabeth's death, saying, "I take a lot of responsibility for that." Luger is still alive today and healthier than ever since finding Christianity.
That's good. Oh, Jake Roberts,
Around
yeah.
this time, Jake the Snake Roberts consumed a heavy dose of drugs and alcohol that almost killed
He
him.
really hit rock
Got
bottom.
in touch with WWE Hall of Famer and yoga instructor Diamond Dallas Page in 2012. The journey was made into a film called The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, and Roberts successfully became a healthier and sober person. Since his transformation, Roberts has admitted
He's looking good, though.
that worsened his drug and alcohol addiction. Speaking
You need to cut that mustache off, though, and he'll look
Roberts
better.
said, and I quote, "I had given up on life completely. I was just waiting to die. I was praying it would happen soon."
That's sad, man. We gotta pray for one another, y'all. I mean, look, like I said, man, it's no secret of how the WWE is these days, though. Here's the thing with Goldust, and it just dawned on to me really quick. Was he high when he first debuted in 1996? Like 21 years ago? Wait a minute. Sorry about that, y'all. But anyways, I just thought about something about Goldust. Again, 21 years ago when he first debuted in the World Wrestling Federation, was he gay? Because looking back on Goldust's career, was he actually gay or something? Because I noticed when he was high off them drugs or something, it had to be the drugs. I mean, it makes sense if you ask me, when they called him the Bizarre One, and he really was the Bizarre One. But when he was doing these sexual acts on all the wrestlers, it kind of makes you wonder, was he even high back then too? Cause it really dawned on me quick. And Jake the Snake Jake wanted to end his life. And I remember watching this in 2013 on YouTube, the documentary his daughter, she pretty much not had enough of her father doing the drugs and the alcohol and stuff, because again, it was taking its toll on him. He really wanted it in his life, and he was begging God for it though. But at least he got help for it though. He was looking better thanks to Diamond Dallas Page's workout program. He's looking healthier and better, and it's good for him. But Lex Luthor, on the other hand, I don't know why this nigga is not in jail right now, because he was responsible for Elizabeth's death in 2003. I mean, even though he admitted that he was responsible for it, but he still could have turned himself in, because he abused her. He caused her to do drugs and stuff. That's why she ended up dying because of it. But he was looking unhealthy too, because he was a junkie himself. You know, the steroids, the drugs, the cocaine, the alcohol abuse or whatever. But he finally turned himself around when God called him to overcome the issue. It really goes to show you that God is willing to give you a second chance. So if he's willing to give you a second chance, you better take advantage of that and use it well. Don't use it for one day. Use it forever. Always be grateful. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I really feel bad for these wrestlers who went through tough times and dark times in the past. Some dealt with overdosing, depression, the drug abuse, you name it. It's a dark world we're living in, and especially in the WWE, because that's basically the honest truth. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Subscribe, leave your comments down below, and hit the like button. I'm your host, Devin Hughes Reacts 1, and I'll see you later.